what degree they are operating. Our federal
Representative Owen, on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill simply seeks to bring Louisiana kind of in a line of, in parallel with federal activities as we monitor the activities of agents of foreign adversary countries. The U.S. government has a list of who our foreign adversary countries are. It's in federal code. They are Russia, Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, North Korea, and the People's Republic of China. What this bill simply seeks to do is that if a lobbyist is going to be working for a company or for the country specifically, that they register at the state board of ethics and just let them know that that's who they're working for, and that's what their lobbying activities are intended to support, and outline what their lobbying activities are intended to do. Not difficult. I'm joined at the table by Mr. Austin Lewis from the governor's office, who approached me about helping with this legislation. Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Austin Lewis with the Office of Governor Jeff Landry. First off, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members, for having me today. I'm happy to sit with Representative Owen on this critical piece of legislation today. Louisiana's citizens have a right to know when a foreign adversary is operating in the state and to what degree they are operating. Our federal partners have already implemented the Foreign Agents Registration Act requiring this type of disclosure. At the federal level, however, the state of Louisiana currently does not do this. Our administration is in full support of this bill, and I want to thank Representative Owen again in this committee for discussing it.
And I will say before we begin questions, Mr. Chairman, I don't think we've purposely been asleep at the wheel, but we've been asleep at the wheel in Louisiana. Some of y'all have read some of the things I've written and have heard some of the hearings we've had about the growth of foreign adversaries on our college campuses. And I'm very pleased that LSU and other universities are taking that seriously. Very grateful to Dr. Tate and what his team have done out there recently to address this. And I think at the macro level, because of our place in industry, our place in oil and gas, that we need to pay attention to who is here, and just so they know that we're watching. Not that necessarily watching, but that we know that they're here. So I'll pass that back to you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. We've got a couple of questions. Representative Farnham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just move favorable at the appropriate time.
Thank you.
All right, well, before you do that, can you pull that back real quick, if you don't mind? We have a substitute bill that we need to adopt.
Yes, sir. Forgot about that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a...
Yep.
All right. Mr. Shooter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, you should have in your packet, it says draft at the top, and it will say substitute House Bill 511 by Representative Owen. This would be the amendment set, and online, it is amendment set 2479.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and offer up that substitute bill for House Bill 511. Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, the substitute bill has been adopted. All right, on the substitute bill, Representative Farnham, you want to make that motion now?
Yes, I'll move favorable on the bill as substitute.
All right.
What is substitute?
Representative Macon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rep. Owen, just a couple questions for you. This is called FARA laws, F-A-R-A, I believe.
Yes.
Do any other states do this?
I am actually not aware if any do. The federal guidelines stand alone, Representative McMakin. We are simply running in parallel to them.
So a couple questions on that. If the federal guidelines already make agents and people lobbying do this, why do we need to do it as well?
They are registering at the national level. We would like them to register with our ethics board here.
I know you like not having too much government control and government entities and processes. Wouldn't this be adding one and adding something to our state, another process that we'd have to be doing that our people currently don't have to do?
I would respectfully say, Representative McMakin, that the threat of our foreign adversaries, especially the Red Chinese, is insidious. There have been, in the last 10 years, there have been over 1,000 FBI investigations of Chinese agents and personnel in the United States. There have been over 150 convictions. There's an estimate that they steal between $200 and $500 million in the United States every year on intellectual property alone. So I think we need to guard what we have here and just to try to remain as cognizant as we can.
Of those stats, how many of those were in Louisiana?
I don't have any in Louisiana. That's a national stat.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I have a question for you. We're talking about so you got foreign you got national lobbyists, federal lobbyists, and you have state lobbyists. We're talking about state issues, not for national issues, right?
No, sir.
You're talking about...
If someone's going to come lobby us, it's going to come lobby this legislature.
That's what I'm asking.
Or our governor or a local community, and they're from one of those nations, then they need to register.
So that's what I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
Just dealing with
State of Louisiana.
State of Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we know if we have anybody currently lobbying in Louisiana for any foreign adversaries, by any chance?
I am sure we have to. I don't have a list in front of me.
Okay. All right. Representative Marcel for a question.
Yes, I'm not sure if I'm following what the substitute bill did or does, but look at page 3 and section 11, lines 18 through 24. When you say everyone on page 3, who's that include?
On page 3, under administration, establish and maintain access to a searchable database.
So you changed. I may be looking at that may have been on the other bill before you did the substitute bill. But does this apply to everyone?
It applies to anyone who is representing a company or an entity from one of those 6 countries, any lobbyist who is conducting lobbying activities.
Okay, how do you know that how would a company know that the person's a foreign adversary?
Well, I would hope if you're going to get hired, you know who's hiring you. I have 4 employers, and I know exactly who they are and where they reside. And I mean, if someone's going to hire me to represent a shipping industry or a computer company, I would hope that I would know who's paying me.
I just think your bill is broad and maybe overburdensome. I hate to agree with McMakin a second time today, but it seems to be overburdensome for lobbyists. I mean, and what's the point of it? Have we had some problems with this in Louisiana?
I want to head off problems. I know we have a problem nationwide, and I don't want to look up one day and say, I wish we had. I'm not worried about burdening lobbyists.
You're not?
I'm not at all, because
Okay.
they are paid to do a job, and they do great jobs. We have a wonderful team of them here, but I think our state and our country needs to keep these guardrails.
I just think it's broad, and I think if the federal government already has something in place, I think it's duplicate, and I don't see the need for it. That's why I really can't support it.
Understand? Thank you.
Question. Representative Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chairman. This seems to apply the definition of foreign adversary based on the federal definition is adversary.
Yes, sir.
It's based on the federal law.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to create a list of adversaries. My list would be longer, but I wanted to keep it inside the federal.
And this would only apply to state officials in the legislature?
It would apply to someone coming to lobby the legislature, the executive branch, municipalities.
It doesn't have nothing to do with local governments, nothing like that?
Yes, it would.
Oh, so it require like a mayor of New Orleans or the mayor of Baton Rouge,
Yes,
if
sir.
a foreign entity contact them, aren't they already covered under federal law? The mayors don't have it doing business with foreigners. Adversary.
They are. Yes, sir.
Okay.
They have to report that.
Okay. All right. So as the federal definition changed, and our definition in this bill will change. We follow the federal law.
It should. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chairman. Thank you.
For a question, Rep. Wilder. Wobble.
Mr. Acting Chair, aren't you my assigned mentor?
I believe I am.
I'll accept with honor that Wilder reference.
Yeah, I was somewhere else a minute ago, but now I'm back.
I'm behind here, the column, the dark side of the column. You can just stare straight at the screen. Rep. Owen, I'm not sure if you're aware, but when I was elected about 18 months ago, one of the first calls I made, probably within 48 hours, was to Rep. Eccles, because he had tried unsuccessfully running a bill to protect agricultural land and productivity from foreign adversaries. We've done some, as freshmen, we've done some tours around the state, and I won't say where, but where we've been enlightened just how real of a problem I believe you're trying to address here. I think it's a great bill. I believe someone's already moved on it. If not, I would myself, and I appreciate you for bringing this.
Yes, sir.
All right, the board is clear. We have several green cards in support. Not wishing to speak, Miss Susie Labrie, Walter Beach, Lisa Johnson, and Kelly Williams, all wishing not to speak. With that, we can move to the red cards. We have present wishing to speak, Desiree Lemoyne.
Good afternoon, members. Excuse me. My name is Desiree Lemoyne. I'm with the TJC Group here in Baton Rouge, and we had spoken with Representative Owens about his bill earlier this week. I did not see any amendments or the substitute bill before committee today. My objection to the bill, the original bill as filed, was on page 3. Lines 19 through 23, where the word said, well, let me make sure I got the right bill in my hand first. But I believe it was, here we go. Sorry about that. It's page 3, line 18 through 22, paragraph A, that listed every person employed, retained, contracting with, or authorized to provide service to a foreign adversary. It did not say lobbyist. It said everybody, which I believe was a tripwire for the small businesses. And it also reads, shall register before commencing any services. So I don't know how that would work. I was just representing industry that found this to be a live tripwire, and I don't know if the substitute bill addresses this or not.
It's out.
Well, if it's out, then that's what he says. Okay.
If you want to come back to the table and.
I have been, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for bringing this up. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to talk today or yesterday. The issue of contractors and subcontractors, someone representing a company in Russia may hire the guy who was maybe hired to appraise real estate. He wouldn't know he was being hired by someone who was hired by someone. So they made a good point. I took it out. I have pared it down.
If you hold that thought for a minute, we're going to get to identify that in the substitute bill. Mr. Shooter.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chair. So in the original bill, what was referenced is on page 3, line 18, and then in the substitute bill, where it is now, is on page 2, line 10. So that change has been made there. It goes from every person employed to any person who lobbies.
And this was a great catch, again, about how invaluable lobbyists are. I have great respect for lobbyists. I do. They help me frequently because I get aggressive sometimes and move out too fast.
Thank you, members.
Rep. Marcel for a question.
Are you withdrawing your objection to the bill at this time?
I will, yes.
So noted.
That's the bill that I was reading when I asked the original question, Representative Owen.
Understand.
But you
I
still believe that
apologize.
this bill is necessary?
Oh, I still believe it's necessary.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have another red card by Mr. Keene Jones, present not wishing to speak. Another red card by Blanche Gallagher, present not wishing to speak. Another red card by same person, Patrick Riley, present not wishing to speak. Not sure what this name is. Lee is the last name, not wishing to speak. And Jeff Clark, present not wishing to speak. So those are all the red cards. If you'd like to close on your bill.
Well, members, thank you for your attention. This is simply trying to create a layer of protection for our citizens and our society. We need I believe it's our duty to safeguard our society as best we can, and I think this would be a small step. So I would ask your favorable passage.
Wait. We got to wait one. Hold that thought for just a minute. We have a white card by David Bordelon from the Ethics Administration. President, he would like to speak. So if you hold your close for just a minute. It's a white card for information.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chair, committee members, Representative Owen. The board instructed me to appear today, not to take a support or opposition, obviously, on a bill, but to just point out some administrative issues. I believe some of those were addressed in the amendments, so I have been going through those while I was sitting here. The only thing I was going to point out is it looks like now all of these provisions are in the lobbying statutes. I did not see a reference to Title 46, Section 9661, which is the local lobbying statutes. If that's the intent, that may need to be included in there so that all three set lobbying provisions match. Currently, we have the legislative, and I think the amendment looks like it includes the executive branch lobbyists. That, including the Title 46, would include local lobbying, if that's the intent.
So it sounds like the substitute bill would include your concerns.
I think it would allow the board to apply that to local lobbyists if that was the intent.
And for the record, the board did send me a letter, and I read it, and that's also one of the things that drove me to make the changes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
We could get a comment from Ms. Smith on this. Do you agree with that?
So the bill does include a provision in Title 33, which was intended to target the local lobbying.
Okay.
But if that sort of technical amendment needs to be added before the floor, perhaps the author would be willing to incorporate it there.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Question from Rep. Larverdane.
Type his name. Type his name. Agreed.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Acting Chair. Mr. Bordelon, this bill won't have any negative effects on the Ethics Board. You all will be able to implement it correctly and so forth?
We did submit a fiscal note as to the cost that we anticipate.
How much will it cost?
Our estimate was approximately $100,000 to create the system as it was in the original form. I think it would require us to set up a database that's searchable on our website that includes all the required information to be reported by the lobbyists. It would also obviously include any sort of IT support for that. We also note in our fiscal note that those assumptions are based on our current workload. As part of Act 664 of last year's session, the legislature created these closed party primary systems. That is what our IT section is currently working on. We anticipate probably another 5 to 6 months of systems updates. So I don't know that these will be implemented by this December 1st date for the enactment. That would be my biggest concern, is that the workload right now simply would not allow that. We did request 2 additional positions for our IT section in our budget, but those have been taken out.
Okay. Do we have an issue with foreign adversaries becoming lobbyists? Do you know if we have any here in Louisiana, just on the state level?
I'm not aware that of any registered that would come under this as of now. It just hasn't been something that has been provided, so I'm not sure where that number would be.
So we don't have anybody in the process who are foreign adversaries that are lobbyists for the state.
I'm not sure how many people would fall under this new definition of a foreign adversary client, I presume.
Okay, but it's not an issue now, is it?
Under the current lobbying provisions, I don't think they disclose the country aspect of it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Representative Laura Dane. All right, the board's clear. We have 2 cards representing the governor's office. We have Mr. Austin Lewis is here and Mr. Lance Maxwell, both in support. We have a motion from Representative Farnham to report House Bill 511 by substitute favorably. Is there any objection? All right, Representative Marcel objects. All right, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chair Boye?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Bayham?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Billings? Yes. Representative Boyd?
No.
No. Representative Carter?
No.
No. Representative Farnham?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Cadbury? Yes. Representative Larverdane? No. Vice Chair Lyons? Representative Marcel?
No.
No. Representative McMakin?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Newell? No. Representative Shammerhorn?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Thomas?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Wright?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Weibel?
Yes.
Yes. There are 10 yeas and 5 nays.
Thank you, Mr.
House
Chairman.
Bill 511 reported favorable by substitute.
Thank you, members.
All right, personal privilege, Representative Thomas.